Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Wings. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Chris Hoover. I'm the SAAC Vice President, and Lizzie couldn't be here today as she broke her Achilles and she had to go back home to Michigan. So today I got Patrick Fubio joining me from the swim team. Thank you, Patrick. And we're joined today by Mr. Dr. President Mike Davis. So to start, we're going to do our Fighting Falcons recap. So over the last couple weeks, Josie Skin and Joey Borelli from the volleyball team both earned AVCA All-American honorable mentions. Colton Stoke-King from wrestling picked up his second MEC Player of the Week accolade this semester following his performance at the Nazoo Open. The Falcons' nationally ranked standout went 3-0 in the tournament, capping his run with a dominant 12-4 major decision over Joey Sparcio of NCAA Division I Hofstra in the title match.
You said that correctly.
I did?
You did.
Oh, yeah, perfect. I'm just winging this here. Women's basketball is gone on a 4-win win streak with an overall 8-2 record so far this semester. Alyssa D'Angelo scored her 2,000th career point and now ranks second in Fairmont's leaderboard. Men's basketball, David Jollinger picked up his first MEC Player of the Week accolade of the year after he averaged a double-double in leading the unbeaten and nationally ranked Falcons to a pair of big conference wins. After scoring 23 points and grabbing a dozen rebounds in the thrilling 92-89 victory at the West Virginia State, he was charted with 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals in the 96-88 home win against Charleston. So a lot of big things that happened in the last couple weeks. Going to a couple of those games was really entertaining to see what all the Falcons are able to do. What was your favorite thing that you've been to in the past couple weeks, Dr. Davis?
I've been to a lot. I think that, the energy at the 2 basketball games earlier this week were great against Glenville, 2 big wins. And we had lots of crowd there, and they were into it. I think it feels different in the basketball arena this year, and we haven't even gotten to sort of the meat of the conference schedule yet. So it's really exciting.
Yes, I didn't realize that our men's basketball team was undefeated as well.
Yep, they're doing great. Yeah,
I think it was you that pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
All right. So getting into the interview portion, what everyone comes here to see. Can you just walk us through a day in your life as president?
Every day is different. It starts pretty early. I take my daughter to school pretty much every day, which gets us all out of the house pretty early. So I'm in the office before 8 pretty much every day. And then it's a lot of meetings, usually in the morning. Mornings are more meetings, and then afternoon and evening are more activities and events. But I think it's really, it's an ebb and flow. It's always some on-campus stuff, but then often a lot of off-campus pieces too. I've had something every night this week, all the way through till probably we all go home for break on the 20th. So every day is different, but you can actually find out where I'm going to be on the president's website. There's a tab that's Where's Mike, so you can see what sort of events I'm going to and what I'm doing out in the community.
So we can just get like a little fan club to follow you around.
Absolutely, some groupies.
You better watch out. We might make that happen.
Oh. Yeah. So what is one project that you're excited about to work on at your time here at Fairmont State?
So the biggest thing we've got on the horizon right now is we're looking at building a new science building. So Hunt Hot Hall is 45 years old, and probably when it was built, it was there were parts of it that were obsolete. And we did some studies to see if we could remodel it. And remodeling it actually costs more than building a new science building because it's built in like that honeycomb structure. Yeah. So you can't take out a lot of those walls. And we know we need bigger lab space so students can do hands-on activities. So we're looking at building a new science building built between ET and Hunt Hot Hall. So that way we could still teach classes and everything while the building's being built. But that's the really big project that's on the horizon.
Is it just in like plans right now, or do you have
we've got the plans are done, and we're going to make a request to the state in this next legislative session to see if we can get something done.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I wish I was here when that new building is being built.
So one of the things I always say at commencement is, when you leave, you should come back here and say, I wish I had this when I was here, right? Because as a university, we should keep growing. Because if our reputation grows, it increases the value of your degree, even if you didn't get to take advantage of all these new facilities and new programs, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
That was priceless, seeing your face light up at that.
Yeah, no, Hunt Hot it's an old building, but we get what we need to get done in that building. But that's exciting to have a new science building.
Yep, absolutely.
Great opportunity for new students too.
Yep. And one of the things we're talking about is if you look at our campus, the only building that faces outward is Hardway, right? It's the only building that's got an outward facing facade. So we actually want to build a science building so it both faces into the quad, but then has a big patio deck out back so that it also faces the community. Because I think we need to start to reorient the university so it's also welcoming the community in. And I think that's a big way to sort of show that physically.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really beautiful spot for it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's there. It's designed to have another building there. When the campus did its master plan and put Hunt Hall where it did, Engineering Tech where they put it, there was supposed to be another building there all along, and we just have never done it. So it's about time.
That's
So
exciting.
do you have any plans with Hunt Hot after it's built? Or
Yeah, we're going to take turns knocking it off the hill.
Oh, gosh.
So we're going to need more residence halls too. So the idea is if we can get money for that science building, we can take down Hunt Hall, and then I want to put a science build or a dormitory there that actually would be mostly apartment style. And the idea is to encourage seniors and some juniors to stay on campus and live in something that feels truly like an apartment, not like a residence hall with apartments, but like true apartments in that area.
Yeah, I like
That part of campus is really quiet at
It is.
times,
Yeah.
and it's a shame because it's beautiful. So I want to find ways to drive students to that area. And what we would actually do is we'd connect all the buildings together. So you could go from a residence hall to a new science building, to Engineering Tech, to Wallman. And then we could put like living learning communities in the new residence hall. So if you're a scientist, you could live there your senior year while you're working on your senior project, and you sort of have a self-contained place you can be regardless of the weather, regardless of the time of day, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I think it's awesome too, because even I remember one of the first conversations I had with you, like a year and a half ago, whatever, was you wanted to make Fairmont State a place where people don't go home on the weekends
Absolutely.
and don't go home in the
Yep.
summer. And just seeing even now, like, that is a way to enable people to stay on
And I think you're
campus.
already feeling it a little bit.
Yes.
And I think there's going to be more of that. I think we got to keep pushing towards that, but I think you're already feeling some of that.
All right. So, how do you feel athletics can enhance student life, and what is your vision for Fairmont State athletics?
My vision is we should be the best Division II program in the best Division II conference. So I was talking to our conference commissioner earlier today, and I was talking about some of our plans for expansion of athletics, finding some more resources for athletics, probably some additional assistant coaches, buses and vans that have our branding on them, those sort of things. And I said, hopefully that pulls some of the conference along too, so that if we're winning conference championships, other teams are really competing too at the highest level, because I want us to dominate the MEC, but I also want people to say the MEC is a really good conference and they're dominating. So some of the things we're looking at, we're looking at expanding some funding for athletics, because I know a lot of times our athletes are on the road for 4 or 5 hours before they compete in an event, and then 4 or 5 hours on the way home. And I'd like to eliminate that first half, right? You should be able to compete in your top physical form, which might not mean sitting on a bus for 4 hours before you jump in a pool or hop on a court. And then some of our sports, especially on the women's side, I think we need some full-time assistant coaches. We have part-time assistant coaches for some of our sports. But if you have 40 athletes on a team and you only have one full-time coach, that's probably not a great ratio. And we know that having those full-time coaches drastically increases student retention. So it's an investment worth making, because if we have full-time coaches, we know the athletes who compete on those teams are more likely to stay because they see those coaches all the time, as opposed to a coach does their job, 8 to 4 and then comes to practice afterwards. That's a different experience for those student athletes.
No, it definitely is. I have a question kind of similar to athletics. So you're not an athletic director, but I see you at like all the sporting events,
Yeah.
I swear. So is that something that you think is important for you to do, or do you just enjoy going to sporting events?
It's not just sporting events. So I go to our theater performances. I go to music performances. Yesterday I went to the architecture students. Were doing their final presentations. I wrote an article for the school newspaper last year, and I said the best part about being president is I get to love what you all love. So if you love swimming, I get to love swimming because you love it. I don't have to love swimming, right? I'm a terrible swimmer, right? If you put me in the pool, even Chris could beat me. But I think that, that's the important part, is I have to love what you love, right? And that's the best part about being president. When I was a debate coach, I loved debate, and I loved debate all the time, and I still love debate. But I didn't think a lot about those other pieces. And now I get to hear what people are excited about every day. They come and share their accomplishments with me. So I get to live vicariously through all of you. Right? When you do something really exciting in the pool, you get to tell me about it. I'm like, that's awesome. That's amazing.
I love that.
You know, we had our strength coaches, Adam and Tyler, race in the pool. Maybe we could get you in the pool one day.
Yeah, I'll race
and Greg?
Greg.
Yes.
I'll race Greg
Greg?
Bamberger. Yeah.
Awesome.
We can get the whole administration lined up.
No, or just Greg.
Just
Just Greg.
just you and Greg. All right, we'll make it happen.
There you go.
All right. So, what qualities do you hope to see in your student athletes and in the coaches here at Fairmont State?
You know, you're obviously the face of Fairmont State in a lot of ways, right? People see our athletics programs before they see anything else. People ask about, you know, if we're hiring a faculty member and a football coach, everybody asks me about the football coach, right? I wish people asked me about the faculty member too. But I think that because you're that public face, you've got to represent us in a way that's respectful, that shines a great light on us. I mean, I think if you look at like our graduation rates, our community engagement by our athletes, you all are doing a great job in that regard. And I think that that's what we have to continue to strive for. And we have to give you all the resources you need to be successful in those races, right? So like when you're raising money, we need to shine a light on that. When you're getting great grades, we have to highlight that. We have to make sure people are seeing that, because I think we're doing that. We need to do a better job of highlighting it. And then honestly, we need to replicate some of the things that are happening in athletics all around campus, right? Part of the reason athletes at Fairmont State graduate at a higher rate and have higher grades than our regular student body is because you have all these extra support pieces built in, right? Like every single one of you has a coach, you have athletic director, associate athletic director, deputy athletic director, all these people you can tie into to get that support, plus all of your teammates. It should feel that way all around campus, right? If you're on the concrete canoe team, it should feel the same way. If you're in a major, it should feel that way in your major, right? And I think that's the trick, is we have to figure out ways to look at what you all do well and then scale that for the entire student body.
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. So, kind of shifting gears now. I'm not sure when this podcast is coming out, but it's Christmas season.
Yep.
So, do you have a favorite Christmas tradition?
Christmas. So Christmas is definitely my favorite holiday. My grandmother went all out when I was a kid. So my wife will tell you I go over the top for Christmas. The newest one, we've started doing it in the last, since we've had our daughter. So the last 12 or 13 years we've done it. We have a pickle present. I don't know if anybody knows what pickle present is, but you hang this pickle on the tree. One person hides it, and then the other two people look for it, and whoever finds it gets that present. And then the next year they have to do the pickle. They have to put the pickle present under the tree. So that's probably the one that we've got right now that I like the most.
So have you won the pickle?
Not this. So I didn't win. So last year I hid the pickle.
Okay.
So this year my wife was the one who had to hide it. We used to let my daughter win every other year. Now we actually compete with her because she's old enough to take the defeat. You can't defend the title. You have to buy the pickle. If you hide the pickle, you know where it is.
Well, I know, but like you take a gap year,
right?
So you're
keep up the reputation.
Yes.
My eyesight's terrible, so I probably would have won the pickle less than anybody.
Just jump in the tree. Yeah, jump in the tree and climb. All right. So out of any team at Fairmont State University, what team would you want to have a team bonding with?
Oh, that's it. So you're like, who's your favorite team? So I think, and I'll tell you based on a specific story. I think it'd be acrobatics and tumbling, because last year during my inauguration, there's music playing as part of the inauguration, and I look over and A&T is like dancing and having a great time. Right. So I think that'd be fun. Now, the only team I've ever gotten to ride with to an event is swimming. That'll change on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'm riding with the men's basketball team to Virginia. That's a much longer ride than what I did with you all last year. So we'll see how much I like the men's basketball team after spending, I think it's a total of 12 hours on the bus with them. It's like 6 hours there and 6 hours back. So we'll see how much I like men's basketball after that.
I don't know that they're going to offer to play Mario Kart with you.
Now they might. Now that you said it,
I don't know.
Oh.
No, this might not come out.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
yeah.
Or maybe
I'll bring my own Nintendo Switch and ask them if they want to play.
I'm also going to throw in a little side question here. Out of me and our producer Riley, who do you think would win in a spaghetti cook-off?
Riley for sure.
Okay,
Riley for sure.
That's fine. You can think that. We'll touch.
Except
base
for swimming, I'd probably pick Riley in most things if you asked which of you would win at it.
We'll touch base again after January 11th.
Oh, you're having a spaghetti?
Yes.
Where's my invite?
We will gladly save you.
Sounds good. I grew up in a big Italian family, so I think I'd be a good judge for this.
Noted.
So I feel like you might have a similar answer for this question. What team do you think would be the best at Christmas caroling?
I think 40 people is a lot to do Christmas caroling. So I think you want a smaller team for something like that. Maybe the golf team, women's golf team. You know, they got a nice core of people that maybe could do that.
Go door to door.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be a
Christmas
community.
caroling is strange. Have you ever had somebody show up at your house to
have
Christmas
not,
carol?
and
Because
don't think
it's
I
great.
want
Like
to.
when you first open the door, you're like, oh, nice Christmas caroling, and you're like, how long
Yeah, and then you
is
have to
this
stand
song?
there.
How long are they going to be here? Yeah,
Maybe we'll do like stations on Main Street.
there you go.
Different teams
Yeah.
cycle through the day. All right. So, and if you need to pull out your phone for this, you can. Who were your top 5 artists and top songs for Spotify Wrapped this year?
I thought you were going to ask me to sing the fight song.
Oh,
that's
no.
My top 5 what?
Your top 5 artists and songs for Spotify Wrapped. Or
So-
just your top couple.
On Spotify?
Yeah, for Spotify Wrapped.
What's Spotify Wrapped? Hold on. Where's my phone? Is that something that Spotify pulls up? Now,
Yeah, every year.
the problem for us is going to be my family all shares a Spotify account. So it's going to be weird, I'm sure. So how do I get to Spotify? Oh, there it is right there. Oops.
Does your family have similar taste
So here,
in music?
let's go.
Yes. And then, so
All
we're
right.
just going to jump through to the end here,
Okay.
if it wants to load.
Look at that. I'm learning something
And
new.
then right here? Yes, right there.
All right. So it's Camp, Indigo Girls, Trampled by Turtles, Vance Joy, and Taylor Swift. So 4 of those are my wife, and 1 of those is my daughter.
Okay.
So none of them are me.
That's okay. So now you need your own Spotify account, so next year we can get
There you go.
just your Spotify Wrapped.
Who's your top artist then? If none of those 5 are yours,
Oh, that's a good question. It's actually a local band, or not a local band when I was in Virginia. It's a band called the Steel Wheels. I'm actually got to see them in Morgantown
Really?
a couple months ago. Yeah, they do like Americana. They're really good. So I like that kind of stuff. And we go to this big music festival every June. We camp out, and it's awesome. So
That
sounds
good.
fun. I think this is a question that they ask everybody. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm picking the Buffalo Bills. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen. I think it's going to be this year, but I picked the Buffalo Bills like the last 5 years. So I don't think I trust my judgment on that.
Are you a Bills fan?
I'm a Giants fan, so they barely have a football team.
Yeah.
But I went to Syracuse. I lived in Rochester for a while, so I was up in the Buffalo area. So, and I've watched Buffalo Bills fans suffer for years. So I think part of the reason I picked them is I think Buffalo Bills fans deserve.
Yeah, I think they
deserve a
deserve
win
one.
at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like the Steelers to beat them, but
Yeah.
if the Steelers can't do it, then I guess the Bills can.
This is like the only weekend I'm rooting for the Steelers because they're playing the Eagles. But they play the Eagles or the Cowboys. I'll root for the Steelers. But other than that, I'm probably not supposed to say that because I'll probably make enemies saying I'm not a big Steelers fan. But
You dodged a bullet. Lizzie's not here to.
Steelers have won enough. Let some other people have a chance.
I don't. We had a rough couple years past few years, but yeah, Lizzie is a huge Lions fan, and
What are Steelers fans going to say if they win a 7th Super Bowl though? Because I've been listening to Sixburg for so long that I feel like
Sevenberg.
that doesn't make sense.
Well, we're tied with the Patriots now.
Yeah,
So we gotta
I
get
really hate
Yeah.
the Patriots too. So maybe no, I can't root for the Steelers.
All right. Last question. Do you know the alma mater yet?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I thought about studying, but I didn't. But if you come to commencement tomorrow, you'll get to hear me sing the alma mater.
Oh, I'll be there. Don't worry.
It's on a screen too, so it's a little bit cheating. But yeah.
Can you
by the MEC championships for swimming, I'll know the alma mater.
Yeah, 2
You
months.
should. Yeah.
I promise.
months.
So.
So, you as the president, are you able to speed up the alma mater? Like, it's really slow. I think the swim team does it really well.
Have you seen us sing the alma
Yeah,
mater?
I came with you all to
it's
Wesleyan last
more
year.
exciting, and it
And I was put on the spot and embarrassed.
kind of pump up ish instead of the slow. Which is, I mean, if it's fitting for a commencement, but
I'm not a musical guy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we should consult some of our music faculty and see what they think.
We can test run it at graduation if you think it's okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Dr. Davis, that concludes the interview portion of the podcast here. We're going to run through some upcoming events really quick, where on December 15th, we have women's and men's basketball playing at Concord University. December 18th, men's basketball at Virginia Union University.
And I'll be on the road, so if you're in Virginia, you want to come hang out with me at the basketball game, I'll be there.
December 19th, women's basketball at Walsh University. December 22nd, men's basketball at Georgian Court University. December 2nd, men's basketball versus Carlow University.
I think that's January 2nd.
Oh, what did I say?
December.
Oh, yes, January 2nd. I'm so sorry. January 4th, wrestling versus Fairmont State Open. January 8th, women's basketball versus Wheeling University. January 10th, wrestling at Penn State Altoona. And January 11th, wrestling at University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. And also women's and men's basketball at West Liberty University. What are you most excited for?
I'm excited to go on. I'm excited to go on the road to Virginia. A bunch of my friends from Virginia are kind of come and cheer on Fairmont
really?
State, so we'll have I think we'll have a pretty good turnout.
That's exciting.
I love going on the road with the teams and seeing sort of how they operate when they're off campus.
That's exciting. Before we wrap up here, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I really appreciate everything that the SAAC does. In terms of fundraising, raising awareness for athletics. Promoting what you all do. I think it's great. I think that, the best part about being at Division II athletics is you really get to know the athletes. And I think that's not just true for me as the president, but I think it's true for all of our students. You get to know each other in a way that doesn't happen at Division I programs. And I think that's really the best part of what we do is people who come and watch you at events, they know you, right? They see you everywhere. They get to talk to you, right? And you have friends in all these different sports. You have friends who are on the stage for things. So I think that's really the power of a Division II school and a school that's our size.
I love that. Well, Dr. Davis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Congratulations to all the graduates from the semester, from all of us in SAAC. We wish all of you a happy holidays and safe travels getting back home. To everyone watching, make sure you follow our athletics Instagram at FS Falcons and our SAAC Instagram at Fairmont State_SAAC. Be sure to catch us back here in the new year with our next guest after the holidays, and don't miss what's going on behind the wings. Thank you.